Hello, this is Marcus again from EV Journey, and if you don't know, I own a Volkswagen ID.3 58 kilowatt hours, and that is a pure electric vehicle, and I'm one of the lucky ones. I have home charging. There's many electric car owners that keep trying to persuade people to get electric cars, and there's some people who are not fortunate enough to have home charging, so they are worried about getting an electric vehicle. Is it right for them or not? Well, I'm going to do 1 month of public charging only. I'm not going to charge at home. I'm going to do a daily diary, and today it's Sunday, and we will start tomorrow, Monday morning, on my daily commute. So if you're interested to see if owning an electric vehicle works for you, if you don't have any home charging but only public charging, this is the video you need to see. Now, if I can't make it during a month because of problems or issues, I'll explain to you why. I'm going to be 100% honest. Now, I live in the town of Moita, just south of Lisbon. And it's a bit unfortunate as well because we only have one public charger. This is in walking distance of my house, and here it is. This is a slow charger, and there's got one green light there. That means this post here is available. One red light means this one is not available. So in the whole town, I've only got one post of charging, and this is what we call a slow charger or AC charger. What does that mean? That means in my car, to probably charge it from 20% to 80%, it's going to take around 3 hours. Now, obviously, there are faster chargers a bit further from my house, for example, at supermarkets, on the motorway, etc. And a fast charger from 20% to 80% in my car will take about 30 minutes. But probably, if you don't have home charging, these slower chargers are going to be the ones that are closer to your house. So this will probably be the kind of charger you will be using if you don't have access to home charging. So let's do it. I'm going to do a daily diary, and let's see if I can last for a month charging only on public chargers. Good morning. So this is the start of my daily commute, and for 4 weeks, no more home charging. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if I stop halfway through. So now I'm on my daily commute, my first daily commute where this is going to happen. It's raining outside, it's not great. I'm probably looking a bit groggy because I haven't woken up yet. It's early in the morning. 80% of this Volkswagen ID.3 gives us a range of 275 kilometers. Now, I just want to say one more thing. I'm going to be driving this like a petrol car. I'm going to be driving it at normal speeds. I'm not going to be driving it to save energy or any of that. If I do have to start to drive it in a more eco way, then I will tell you about that. This is week 1, Tuesday. Is this going to turn into Groundhog Day? Let's see. So yesterday on my daily commute, I did a massive 34 kilometers, and the battery now is at 72%. And the GOM, which is the guessometer, so this predicts the range, is actually saying we've got 255 kilometers left. Currently I don't need to charge, and today I think I may do a little bit more than 34 kilometers. So far, so good. This is week 1, Wednesday. It's early in the morning again. And yesterday I did my commute, but I did a little bit more. So yesterday I did 54 kilometers. And the battery is currently at 55%. The GOM, which is the guessometer, is saying that we've still got 204 kilometers of range. Anyway, the sun is out. Things are looking better. So today should be a better day for commuting. I think I'll just do my daily commute today. Week 1, Thursday morning. So today I'm probably going to charge. So just to tell you about yesterday. So yesterday I just did my usual daily commute. So that was 34 kilometers. And the battery is now at 44%. And on the guessometer, it's saying we've got a range of 181 kilometers. Now, I never drive my car down to 0, and if I was home charging, as soon as it gets to around 40%, I would charge it back up to 80%. That helps protect the battery. This is week 1, Thursday, and it's getting exciting, because I've just put the car to charge, as you can see there. And it's an AC charger, which means it's a slow charger, and that's exactly what you want. It's really good to slow charge your vehicle, better than using fast charging. You should only use fast charging when you need to. Let's have a quick look around. Let's go and look at the River Tejo. Right, this is the estuary of the River Tejo. As you can see, it's quite low tide. There's Lisbon over there. And here we have the traditional boats of this town, Moita. This is where I live. And over there you've got restaurants, bars and everything. Let's just look at the stats. Today I drove 36 kilometers and we're at 35%. So when it gets to around 35%, 40%, I do like to charge. A good point of charging at this kind of percentage is that if I couldn't get it today, then I could come back tomorrow and I'd still have enough range, because on the GOM we've still got 144 kilometers of range. Charge early and often, that's what I say. It's better for the battery, better for you. Now we're going to charge from 35% to 80%. And in total, since we last charged, because we started this on Monday at 80%, I've actually driven 158 kilometers. So on 45% of the battery, I've driven 158 kilometers. Now what I'm going to give you is the price of that in petrol. So currently today in Portugal, petrol is €1.75. That's the average price of petrol for medium 95. It at 6 litres per 100, it's going to cost you €16.59. So that is quite expensive. I think you'd all agree. Now, if I was going to do this at home, look, it's a sunny day. I am fortunate enough that I've got solar panels at home. So I could have charged the car partially today with those solar panels for free. I mean, obviously I paid the solar panels up front, but now it's free because I've paid them. But I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to ignore I've got solar panels at home. And also at home, I pay 18 cents per kilowatt hour, independent of if it's day or night. So I'm going to base it on 18 cents per kilowatt hour. Now in Portugal, I could be on another tariff where it's only 12 cents at night and it's about 20 something cents in the day. But we're going to work on 18 cents per kilowatt hour. Now you can work that out at home based on how much you pay for electricity at home. So if I had to charge at home instead of here, from 35% to 80%, because we're just going to charge to 80%, that would have cost me €4.69. So €4.69 is much cheaper than the €16.59 that we pay for petrol. So how much is it going to cost me to charge here? Charge here from 35% to 80% is going to cost us €9.66. So that's almost double as what I'm paying at home, because here it's 37 cents per kilowatt hour. Now this is the only AC charger in town. It's expensive. And there are chargers in Portugal, AC chargers, that are a lot cheaper than that. So I might have to reconsider if I should be charging here on a weekly basis. But even so, €9.66 is still cheaper than petrol, which is €16.59. But again, it's double the price of home charging. So I'm going to walk home now. My home is very nearby, and because it's slow charging AC, to get to 80% is going to take us 2 hours. Week 1, Friday. And today is exciting because we're going to drive to the Algarve, 280 kilometers, but we'll talk about that later. So yesterday evening, we charged the car to 80%, as you can see there. And now the GOM is showing a massive range of 321 kilometers. So next I'm going to do my daily commute, and then I will see you when we start our trip towards the Algarve. So we're just about to set off on the way to the Algarve. That's right, Friday. So battery percentage is 74, as you can see there. So this was the first time I really considered charging at home, and the small difficulty I found, because normally when I leave to the Algarve, I would charge from home till around 90%, and then I would drive, as soon as I got to 90%, straight to the Algarve. Now, my commute is a school run, so I do work at home. So I was very tempted to charge the car today up to 90%. I didn't. So that probably means I'm going to spend an extra 10 minutes longer charging on the route to the Algarve, which is just slightly annoying. So I'll meet you on the next stop on the way to the Algarve. So, we've arrived at the Grandela services with 40%. The car is charging. And this is the services here. We've got 25 minutes to go because we're going to charge to 80%. As you can see there, we're stopped at 80. So currently it's already at 43%. So this is a fast charger. It's 100 kilowatt charger. We're getting around 65 kilowatts at the moment because we came with 40%, quite a high state of charge. But there's only 2 more chargers en route. So that's why we're stopping here, and we'll probably stop again to charge. I'll explain why. I don't think we'll have to, but I think we're going to. Just to point out, we've been going mostly on the motorway, and we've been doing 120 kilometers an hour, so we've been going at normal speed. We haven't been going slow or anything. So what's the cost of this charging in Grandela? So we're going to add 40% of the battery, and this is actually going to cost us at this charger €9.51. and that's because this charger is slightly more expensive because it's on the motorway. It's like petrol stations, slightly more expensive because they're on the motorway, and that's actually 41 cents per kilowatt hour. Now I'm not going to say how much this cost at home charging because it makes no sense. We're on the way on the motorway. We're going to have to charge here even if I had home charging, so it makes no sense to compare this post with home charging. Since the last charge yesterday, we've actually done 127 kilometers. And if I was in a petrol car doing 6 litres per 100, the price here would have been €13.34. So it's only about €4 more expensive in a petrol car than it is currently charging here. So we've arrived at the services in Lowley, and we've not got very far to go now, and the battery's at 34%. And the GOM is 132 kilometers, and we're going to charge it to 80%. We're on a 50 kilowatt charger, which is still quick but a bit slower than the previous charger we were on. We've got, it says 25 minutes here, but when we arrived it was 30 minutes. So as you can see, we've got enough range to get to the flat, but what we don't want to do is get to the flat with say 20%, and then on Saturday and Sunday we'll have to find somewhere to charge and we won't be able to enjoy the day tomorrow perhaps the way we want to. So we're going to charge up to here with 80%, so hopefully when we arrive at the flat we'll be over 60%, so then we can choose when to charge. We can have, that'll probably be enough for Saturday and Sunday before we come back home on Sunday. So that's why we're doing it. It's going to take us a bit longer to arrive at our destination, but at least tomorrow morning we don't have to worry about charging anything. We can wake up and enjoy the day, etc. So that's something you have to think about when you're when you don't have a home charger at your destination. Perhaps you want to charge a bit more on those longer trips before you get home, so you've got plenty for the next day. If anybody thinks it's taken us a long time to charge on this long distance route, which is about 280 kilometers, I did actually do this from my home to the same destination in the Algarve, and we only charged for 6 minutes. I'll leave that video linked below. But obviously when you don't have home charging, you have to think about things a little bit differently. Now the important point, cost. So since the last charger we've done 138 kilometers, and at this charger here it's slightly cheaper than the other one. To get from 33% to 80% is going to cost us €9.83. Now if we'd have done the same 138 kilometers in a petrol car, that would have cost us €14.50. So almost a €5 saving there. Week 1 Saturday, and I'm on the way to the beach. Look, the weather's great. We charged last night, and because we charged last night on the way here, it took us 30 minutes. It means that our battery is now 64%. So I don't have to worry about charging because the GOM is got 225 kilometers. So I can just enjoy today without worrying about charging. Perhaps I will charge if it's convenient for me or not. I don't know yet. I have not had any plans. So yeah, so from the charger to here last night, it was 52 kilometers, just something. So where we are here, the nearest charger is about 5 kilometers away, so it's not very convenient for us here, to be honest. So last night we did spend 30 minutes charging, and some of you may be thinking, well, that's a long time, 30 minutes, and you want to get to your destination. That's true, but we did actually have a picnic, so we had some sandwiches, some salads, etc., and it took us around 30 minutes to eat that, and we enjoyed it. And that was our dinner because it was quite late in the evening. When we got here, we didn't have to eat, we tidied up, then we went to bed. So yes, so sometimes when you've got an electric car, you have to think about things a bit differently. Also at that charging station, there was a small restaurant and snack bar. So if you didn't have a picnic, you could have purchased food in there, and they had tables and stuff. You could have eaten it there. So it's up to you. Perhaps with an electric car, you just have to change your mindset slightly. Week 1, Sunday morning. And again, we're going to the beach because look at that. It's sunny. Fantastic. So yesterday we did 44 kilometers. Today we're going to go to a beach in Montgordo, and we're going to go to this beach in Montgordo because it has a public charger on the beach. I've checked the Mio app, it seems to be available, so that's good. It's about 10 kilometers from here or so, not quite sure. And the car is currently at 49%. You see that there? 49%. So we're going to go there, charge the car, and then this afternoon we're going to be driving back to Moita, so there'll be even more charging sessions. So today is an exciting day, and this is the end of week 1. So I've just started charging. This is AC charger here, as you can see, there's some workmen. The van was parked here, but they moved it for me. It's a good stuff. They did move it for me. So they moved it a bit further over there. You can see the van there. We're at 45%. It's going to take us 1 hour 40 minutes to get to 80%, and the car will stop at 80%. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to charge that to 85%. So that will take 2 hours 10 minutes to 90%. But I've just got back now. The car's at 85%. See that there, 85%, and the GOM is saying 300 kilometers. I'm just about to unplug. So since the last charger, we've done 112 kilometers. If that was in a petrol car, that would have cost us €11.76. Now, this electricity here has cost us €7.88, so a bit cheaper than a petrol car, but still a little bit expensive. That's around 30 cents per kilowatt hour. There are chargers here that are cheaper, about 15 kilometers away, where it's about 21 cents per kilowatt hour. But obviously I have to choose the chargers that are convenient for me, especially when it's slow charging, because you have to wait two hours or something. So it has to be convenient for me. So that I could try to do things to get the cheapest possible chargers, but I'd rather have convenience over spending a little less money. Everybody's different, of course. So we're just about to set off back to our home. The car's at 80%. Can you see that? 80%. 268 kilometers on the GOM. Obviously we're going to charge probably twice, perhaps more, I don't know. We'll explain on the way. We've done 33 kilometers since the last charge, so we've used 5% of the battery. 80% a good starting position. I think we're going to charge early, so I'll speak to you soon. So we're in Galp on the A22 heading home. We arrived with 60%. We're already at 64%. We're going to charge to 80%. It's taken just over 10 minutes. Since the last charge, we've done 86 kilometers. If we do this in a petrol car, it would cost us €9, and here it's only costing us €4.04, so more than half the price of a petrol car doing the same distance. So I'm here at Lidl. We stopped at one service station on the motorway. Somebody was using the charger. We stopped at the next one, somebody's using the charger. So we've came off the motorway, about a 5 kilometer diversion, and we've come to Lidl. So yeah, that's fine, it's working. It's a fast charger here, as you can see. So anyway, we came here with 25% of the battery, so I have to charge really before going home, unless I wanted to drive at like 90 kilometers an hour. We're going to charge at 80%. So this is one of the problems, because normally I'd probably charge here to about 50%, go home, then charge at home. But I want enough charge for tomorrow morning, so I'm going to charge at 80%. So we've got plenty of charge for tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about charging tonight. Because the last thing I want to do is get home, let's say 8:30, 9 o'clock, go to my local charger, plug the car in for around 2 or 3 hours, and then go to that charger at 10 or 11 o'clock at night to collect my car. I'd rather stay here an extra 15-20 minutes to get the charge up to 80%. And in the meantime, I think I'm going to do some shopping in Lidl, so make use of it. Let's get down to the stats. So since the last charge, we have done 152 kilometers. In a petrol car, that would cost us €15.96. And in this car, at this charging spot, which is a 50 kilowatt DC charger in Lidl, it's costing us €10.28, so it's cheaper. Week 2, Monday morning, and I'm stopping the experiment. So I'm going to tell you exactly the reasons why I'm stopping the experiment. I know this was meant to be a month, but we've already done a week, and I just don't feel I can continue doing this experiment. I'll give you the reasons why. It's not all bad. So I think for the daily commute, it's absolutely fine charging in my town. We've proved that. But on long distances is where I found slightly more difficulties. And there's another reason as well, money, because it's going to be a beautiful week this week in Portugal. It's going to be sunny every day. I've got solar panels at home. I want to get home from the school trip, put my car in the garage, charge it on solar. Most of that energy will be free for me, and then go on my commute in the evening. And if I don't use that energy, because I won't use that energy unless I plug the car in, it will just disappear. So that's the main reason. The second reason is that week 2 is going to be exactly like week 1. I'm going to do daily commute every day, more or less the same distances. On Friday I'm going to the Algarve, on Sunday I'm coming back from the Algarve. How will I make that interesting unless I get a big issue in on the way? And I don't think I will get a big issue on the way. Now, the most difficult point for me was probably yesterday, because I drove back differently because I wanted to arrive with a percentage in the car, and look, we did. We arrived with 49% in the car. That is more than enough for at least 2 or 3 days of my daily commute, so that's fine. The problem is, obviously, I've got a family and things were done differently. That was the first time yesterday I had to come off the motorway and charge in Lidl, and it's about a 5-minute drive off the motorway, 5-minute back, so that's lost me 10 minutes already. And the problem was there were lots of people coming back from the Algarve, and all the chargers were full except for the first one and one I didn't stop at. So normally what I do is I stop at that first one for around 10 minutes like you saw, charge the car to 80%. Then I go to the Ionity charger, which is extremely expensive. That works out much more expensive than even petrol. I charge at the Ionity charger, which is about another 20% away, so I'd get there with 60%. I saw it yesterday when I was passing the cars at 60% when I passed there. Normally I'd pull off there, and I actually saw there was they were available because they're so expensive. I'd charge there from 60% to 80%. Give me enough to come all the way home and arrive with around just under 20%. Then I'd charge at home, no issue. That would be one 10-minute stop, another 10-minute stop. I'll have plenty to come home, absolutely no problems whatsoever. I decided to go to Lidl in Grandela, and there we did some shopping and stuff. But I think that must have added at least 30 minutes to my normal trip home. And next week I really don't want to do that. So there's a slight disadvantage there for home charging as well. If you go on your longer trips, you have to think about the next day and how you do that. So 3 main reasons. I want to use my solar energy. I don't want the week 2 video to be extremely boring, which it will be, it'll be the same. And the third reason is it made my trip home from the Algarve a bit too long. One important point I wanted to tell you about when choosing your electric vehicle is that this is the charger we used. This is the AC charger in my hometown. Now, AC chargers normally go up to 22 kilowatt. Now, depending on the car, depends how fast it can charge on one of these chargers. For example, my ID.3 on an AC charger can only charge up to 11 kilowatts. So that means if I want to charge 22 kilowatts into my ID.3, it's going to take 2 hours. Now, there are a few other cars that charge quicker on AC chargers, such as the Zoe or the new Megane E. They can charge up to 22 kilowatts. So that means to put 22 kilowatt hours into a Zoe or Megane E, that is going to take you just 1 hour, not 2 hours on one of these chargers. But there are other cars that charge slower, such as at 7 kilowatts. That means to put 22 kilowatt hours into them, it's only going to take you more like 3 hours. Now, why is this important? This is something you have to check, because this charger and some of these chargers have per minute pricing. So if you see this one here, that's 2.5 cents per minute. So that means part of the pricing is per minute. With this post, you actually pay for kilowatt hour plus the minute. That means charge my ID.3 for 2 hours just on the per minute pricing with 22 kilowatts of energy going into it. That's going to cost me €3. Now, to get the same amount of energy into a Zoe, for example, that means it's only going to cost me €1.50 because it only takes me 1 hour, not 2 hours, to charge the same amount of energy. So that may be something you may consider if your house is near these chargers, especially if they're per minute AC chargers. You may consider looking at a car that has quick AC charging, but there's not many. I just wanted to wrap up what I think about public charging. Look, I've got a Zoe today, just so you can see it, and it's charging on a public charger. And to be honest with you, the Zoe is a great car, so that may be a better option for you for home charging. But all I want to say is, obviously, an electric vehicle is much better than having a petrol car, just because it's better to drive, it's more fun to drive, it's less maintenance, it's just better in every single way. But obviously it's your decision. Obviously it's much better to have home charging. It's going to be at least half the price, if not more, of having to use public chargers. As we've seen over the past week, I have used more expensive public chargers. There are cheaper public chargers available, but I used the more expensive ones because I wanted it convenient for me. I didn't use the cheaper ones, but obviously that's a decision you have to make. So what I'd suggest you do is install a few apps to find out where public chargers are near your house. And if they're close to your house, that's great. Then go and see if you can find out the pricing and see how busy they are. See if they're not very busy, but if they're always busy and you're not going to find a place, that's going to be obviously a problem for you. So decision's yours. I've tried to be as honest as possible. Obviously home charging is better, but still public charging is cheaper than using a petrol or diesel car. Now I just want to talk about something else, and that is plug-in hybrids. You may be thinking, well, I get a plug-in instead. That gives you about 50 kilometers of electric range, and then that gives you, the rest you use on petrol. Now, if you don't have home charging, plug-in hybrids are absolutely useless, because to charge a plug-in hybrid, they're very slow to charge. It's much more expensive than charging an electric vehicle, the same amount of kilowatt hours. So if you don't think electric is for you just yet, it's probably better just to get a pure diesel or petrol car, or keep your existing car and wait for a couple more years where you think the charging network is better near your home or whatever. Would I still get an electric vehicle if I didn't have home charging? Yes, absolutely yes. To me it's a no-brainer. It wasn't too difficult to charge near my home. There's lots of chargers. The car's got quite a good range, so there's no issue there whatsoever. Even this small Zoe has a range of about 400 kilometers, about the same as my ID.3. So if you get something like that, I don't think public home charge is going to be an issue. It's just the cost of the cars is more expensive, and the charging is a bit more expensive, but it's still cheaper than petrol. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been informative. It's definitely been informative for me. Thank you very much. Leave your comments below. In Portugal, there's no problem with the charging network. I don't know about other places, but here you'll have no problems with it. Thank you again for watching, and please remember to click subscribe. And I've really enjoyed this week. So thank you again, and bye.